Yeah.
I don't have friends, G.
Hey everyone, I'm Brad from Calgary.
This is Sean from Cambridge, Ontario.
I'm Terry from Cornwall, Ontario.
Hey, this is Larry from Pitt Meadows, British Columbia, and you're listening to the Towing Life Podcast.
Welcome to the Towing Life Podcast, where the ditches are deep, the trucks are loaded, but the drivers are not. I am your host, TowManG, and as usual, I'm joined by my co-host, friend, and former co-worker, the man with very strong opinions, Mr. PlainGuy.
What is going on, G? What is going on?
I think I got to change that intro. Apparently, I'm not a friend. I'm just a very good business acquaintance.
Well, I can be your friend. Doesn't mean you're mine.
Yeah, exactly. So
Do both parties
feelings not mutual. So
yeah, like what is this, dating back in high school? Like, do both parties have to be consenting for one to call the other one a friend?
I think so. It is 2023, almost 2024.
I feel like there's many people that can say you're a friend and that you cannot say are friends in return.
Yeah,
I
those
feel
are
like that's
called
the thing.
women.
No, I just mean that you could acknowledge me as a friend and say that is my friend.
Mm-hmm.
But that does not mean that we have come to a mutual agreement that I will call you my friend.
Yeah, but that's the thing with most guys is we talk shit about each other to our faces.
But that doesn't have to do with anything about talking shit. That just has to be on where you stand on the social totem pole of that person.
Hmm.
But I know this is something that is concerning you, and I know that it is something that you are going to lose sleep on over. So, TowManG, you are my friend. I consider you a good friend. Not even just a friend, a good friend.
A good friend. Wow.
Will that help you sleep at night?
No.
Okay. Well,
no, because what you think of me in your deep, dark, cold heart doesn't affect me in the slightest.
See, that's where I think you're full of snot.
Really?
I think you we talked about this. You absolutely thrive for the nice sunglasses. He's my friend. So that is bull. That is your love language, and you want me to love you.
You failed on that too, by the way. You said you were gonna.
Can't say 4 nice things 4 weeks in a row.
It was 5, but okay.
Whatever. It goes against my moral fiber.
Yeah.
Like it hurts. It's not that I don't think nice things about you. It's that it physically hurts me to say nice things that often.
I feel real sorry for your wife.
I know. So fun fact, I heard that you absolutely told her that in a hotel room while we were at the tow show. So thank you for that. That was a nice caveat to an argument I was having with her. I appreciate you so much, my good friend.
Hey, I'm on her side. I told you this from the beginning. You know what? I watched a video, and if you can relate to any of this, you can hit us up in the comment section down below on the YouTube side of things, or you can send us an email. You know our email address by now. We've told you for 14 weeks now, right? But it's thetowinglife@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook at The Towing Life Podcast, whoop-de-doo-da-day. Or you could go to our website. You could pick up some merch. Whatever you want to do. That's thetowinglife.ca, I think. No, I don't know.
It is towinglife.ca. Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, I saw this video, and it was a guy there, and he was talking about how if him and his wife, her girlfriend, get into an argument, and he asked her, who are the 5 people you're going to go talk to? Yeah. And she lifts off the 5 names. And he says, okay, now for me, who am I going to go talk to? I'm going to talk to my dad. I'm going to talk to my friend. And whose side are my people going to be on? Your side.
90% of the time.
90% of the time. Now, when you go and talk to your friends, whose side are they going to be on? They're going to be on your side. There's no one in your corner, most of the times, defending the other guy. I find a lot of guys have that, right? Because if you come to me with a problem, I'll normally tell you that you're stupid and you got a good woman and you should figure your shit out. But if she goes and starts bitching about a relationship,
I don't fully believe this crap. That truly depends on, whenever you have said those things, a lot of times I've come in here in a joking fashion. These are real
Yeah.
fights that I have with my wife, but I don't disclose them in a real concerning way. I disclose them more in a joking way because that's what I do. But if it is something where I'm actually in the right, right? Like I don't know what that could be that I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm not right very often, so I don't have any examples to pull from. But you would, I do believe, have my side if what I was doing was right. So, as men, I think the argument you're trying to say that men don't have that backup because they don't get that support is 90% of the time it's because we're not right. Like, I am well aware that if I count, and God bless, my wife and I have had like I'd say 3 really good arguments in our 10 years, whatever it's been now that we've known each other.
Mhm.
Right? I mean, like 3 like barn burners, right? Like what
Yeah.
we had the other day that I was talking about is minor. But in those 3 barn burners, I wasn't right. And I knew I
Never.
wasn't. I knew in those I wasn't right.
Yeah.
Right? But if it was a case where I actually was, like if I came to you and I said, "Gee, my wife wants me to shave my beard because I mean, this is something she would never say, but whatever, for whatever reason."
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I want to keep it just because I think it's me and it always has been. I'm right in this scenario to want to keep my beard. You're not going to take her side.
No.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
don't give this shit that we don't have support. That
Oh no, I'm saying that in your support, a lot of those times when like I make it so whenever I talk to someone about anything that's going on, I always phrase it like I'm not trying to show a side here. I'm not looking for advice because a lot of times if you have a problem, let's say that you hate your job and your job is towing, because I know a lot of guys have these conversations. If you go to someone and you say, "Yeah, sometimes the pay sucks and it's just I love it, but I hate it," and they don't know the industry the same way as they don't know your relationship, they don't know the pros to anything, they're going to tell you, "Well, you should probably just quit or you should probably just leave," or whatever the case may
yeah,
be,
because you're
because you don't
complaining while you
phrase the
bitch.
question or the um you need to vent, and
Yeah.
you want to vent to a brick wall, but you also want someone there to listen. And
Well,
I
that's what I
find
do
a
every
lot of
week on this podcast.
yeah,
I vent to a brick wall.
yeah, you're welcome.
Thank
It's
you.
actually a drywall. There's no bricks behind me. It's an interior wall.
But yes, you are
Yeah.
right. Sometimes you just want to vent to, be heard. I have a guy that calls me. I have one of my guys that calls me for that. And
Mhm,
he'll just, he'll go on and it's not just complaining, right? It
mhm,
is a lot of times like that's what it sounds like. Is
yeah,
he's just complaining, whatever. But at the end of it is he just wanted to get that off his chest.
mhm,
He doesn't mean half of it. He's just upset. He's just frustrated. He's just whatever. And he gets that on and he moves on with his day.
mhm,
I think that's required. But yeah, no, but it depends, right? If you've said this to your same friend that, the pay sucks, the hours suck, and I kind of hate towing. If you've told him this a dozen times in the last 12 months, of
yeah,
course his answer is going to be, you should probably quit.
yeah,
If it hasn't gotten any better by now, it probably isn't. So you should either
mhm,
quit, find a new company, or shut up, is what my
yeah,
response would be to you at that point. It'd be like, either shut up or quit.
yeah.
Get or get off the pot. It's time to go. Let's go. So, welcome back to another episode of the Towing Life podcast, episode 115, as we were mentioning.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It isn't as much as we've wrapped up a lot of our big stuff for the year, right? Like we had our
Yeah.
summer tow show, our PTAO tow show. We launched the recovery of the month this year. We've done
Yeah.
a couple things. I'm really excited for the month that we have going, and the reason is because, as we mentioned, the recovery of the month is one of them. So, coming the recovery of the month winners, the contest has been closed. You guys knew you had your chance to get in by the end of September, right? We're
Mhm.
almost into November now, so we haven't really talked about it much. But exciting news, the 2024 calendar has been submitted and is in production. I do not have a date. I got to go back. I think I have a date, but I don't have it off the top of my head. A date that it will be available for sale.
Mm.
But it will be coming up in the month of November, I would say. By the end of November, calendars should be able to be shipped out. That is
Nice.
my goal. That is the plan. I have not created a full-on order sheet yet, but if you want to inquire about it, you can head over to, like G said, our Facebook, send us a message, inquire about a calendar, head over to our website in the contact us form. You will see over on the website, towinglife.ca, there is a recovery tab. From there, you will be able to, once the orders become available, be able to go right on there and order your 2024 Recovery of the Month calendar.
So, PlainGuy,
Yes.
you're telling me I can order a calendar
Yes.
off the interwebs,
Yes.
or I could go to any dollar store and pick up a calendar. Right?
Yes.
What sets our calendar apart? Why
Well,
should people buy our calendar?
I know what you're trying to get to, but that hasn't been set in place yet, so we cannot get into it.
Oh.
But what sets our calendars apart is the fact that they are submitted all photos and recoveries by you, the listener.
Yeah.
You sent them in. We voted on them. We put them together. There is some news that we have coming, hopefully announcing, and to do
Which
with
I
the
was
sale
trying to
of the
segue
calendar.
to very professionally.
Yeah, you did a great. You sounded like the guy from the shopping channel. It was very corny, but good attempt.
Yep.
We do have some announcements coming with some plans that we have for that, but they currently don't exist. So TowManG just hyped it up for absolutely nothing.
Yeah, sorry.
But so head over to towinglife.ca, and again, a special thanks to all the sponsors who helped out with these calendars, whether it be to for the Recovery of the Month winners. Every month we gave away a $50 Amazon gift card. Like we gave away $600 worth of Amazon gift cards to help in the process of making this. That wouldn't be possible without the folks over at Herb's Towing, TowSoft, BakPul, Hitches, and Tow Canada Magazine, and PlainGuy Productions, which is just us spending money for tax purposes at the end of the year. So it was amazing work. There was some awesome stories, some awesome recoveries. We're going to share one on today's episode. And we will share the final two as we get closer to the end of the year. Like I said, they've already been picked. They've already been submitted to the calendar. The winners do not know yet. So it'll be just as much of a surprise for them as it is for us. But with that being said, it is a good time to announce our 2024 November winner.
No, this is for October.
Oh, this is for October. I apologize. Yeah. This is the winner for the October Recovery of the Month. The name is wrong. It was a bit of a mix up on this. That is not what I wanted to do.
Dropping the ball, PlainGuy.
Yeah. This is the winner for, you're right, October. Submitted by Corbin Neville is actually who submitted this one. The photo on your screen will say Bradley Clift. Bradley's a cheater and a fraud. And the proper winner was Corbin Neville over at his company at D&O Towing. They got a call from their local police about a stolen vehicle that was burned underneath an overpass. Between the fire department putting the blaze out and the weather giving us some heavy rain through the night before, we realized we wouldn't be able to take any of our trucks to the vehicle. We didn't want to have to fight with it digging into the mud and grass along the way by winching it out. We decided that the easiest way would be to lift it over the side of the bridge with the rotator and load it straight onto a flatbed. Local police agreed to close one lane while we got to work. Now, that is a great photo.
Mm-hmm.
This burnt car being hoisted over the guardrail. It is also a good time to mention those amazing sponsors we did for the Recovery of the Month. October is sponsored by the wonderful folks over at TowSoft. TowSoft is one of, in my opinion, the best leading solutions for towing software. Mm-hmm. Very web-based integration, just awesome. Head over to towsoft.ca, book your demo. I promise you, I use it and you will not regret it.
Yeah, just check it out.
Absolutely. Like what a shot though, lifting it up over the bridge. So they had, and we're going to get to it. These folks actually submitted this recovery via video, and we're going to play the video for you guys in a second. But they had a burn car under an overpass. They looked at options, right? Go down there and get it with a truck. Not a good option. Drag it through the mud. Not a good option. Hey, we got a rotator. I'm sure we can find a way to get this done. Mm-hmm. So we'll play the video. We'll sit quietly in the back, and we'll come back. We'll talk about it once it's done. That's a sweet recovery. That is one of those recoveries that
I wonder
you,
what kind of truck they run.
yeah, judging by the big shirt in the background.
Yeah.
That is a sweet recovery. That is definitely one of those recoveries that, yeah, okay. First of all, your rotator is, you can run single line and still be, have all kinds of fun with it. But it really allows you to have some fun and have some freedom with the rotator where you're not stressed out about lines, about resistances, about everything. And you can just, I'm going to pick stuff up and put it back down.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a cool recovery. It's definitely one that was worthy of the recovery of the month, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad. So I did reach out to Mr. Bradley Clift, who misidentified himself when he reported it on behalf of his friend, or submitted it on behalf of his friend, and told him he better make sure. And Corbin, I hope you got the Amazon gift card. I told him that you better get that Amazon gift card. So if you didn't, you make sure to tell me. I'm not going to send another one, but I'm going to take a drive out to wherever you guys are, because I forget. And I'll take care of Mr. Bradley Clift himself and get you that gift card. So congratulations on being our October Recovery of the Month winner on behalf of the wonderful folks over at TowSoft. And you will see yourself in the spot in the calendar as Mr. October.
Yeah, Mr. October.
Mr. October. He wanted to be Mr. October. We told him he wasn't eligible.
No, I'm not eligible. We're not eligible to be in our own calendar.
I can't submit a recovery if I'm too busy in the office, right? Like I don't get to do cool recoveries.
No, you sit on the sidelines most of the time now.
Yeah, I do. I watch. I'm happy, right? My favorite line is "Go make Daddy proud." Get the mixed
Do you
reaction.
actually tell that to your guys?
100%. I have said that more than one occasion. All right, I'm just gonna head out and do that call. Okay, go make Daddy proud.
That's bad. That's
What?
workplace harassment, you know?
That is not workplace harassment. You know what? The full sensitivity of the industry, like of the working class, has not hit the towing industry yet.
No.
Right? Like I think they're still self-policed enough that, like, is bullying a thing? Sure. Is toxic workplace a thing? Sure. Now I don't agree with a toxic workplace, but I agree with a certain level of bullying.
If I couldn't tell my coworkers to go pound salt or to fuck off, I don't think I would want to work there.
Well, like I don't need, yeah, like you can't just like a guy walks in and you just absolutely berate him and degrade him and everything. Oh, God, I've seen that. But you know what I mean? Like you got to really play off the people that are there, and I think the guys are pretty good at realizing who you can horse around with and say that stuff to, and
And
who
how
you
far?
can't. Yeah, and
Just like,
normally that
fuck
comes with
you, Tim.
crossing the line to figure it out,
Yeah.
right? Like they've gone to, somebody's come to me and said something. I went, pardon? Oh, I can't say that to you, can I? Maybe not that. But no, it's all in good fun. But yeah, absolutely. If we couldn't have but it's true that sensitivity hasn't hit the industry, I don't think yet. Right? Like you're seeing it sweep across all kinds of areas. It'll eventually come. It has to.
Yep.
Right? But we're just the last, we're still running behind with 1950s rates and 1960s socially acceptable attitudes. So
Yep.
like we still got a lot of ways to catching up in more than one department. So maybe one day it'll be here. And I'm hoping by the time it gets here that I'm comfortably retired. Somewhere on a beach in Florida, maybe.
So
Maybe then
you're
I'll join the
saying,
convent.
you're talking about how the industry is changing and we haven't received some of the wrath of the politically correctness, right?
Yes.
But as the industry changes, there's still people that get into the industry. And I feel like the
Not as many.
barrier to entry is normally pretty high, especially now with the truck prices and everything. So I've seen some posts on Facebook, social media, about guys with car trailers towing them around with a F250 or F350, whatever,
Yep.
right? Just trying to get out there, hustle, make a dollar. They want to make it in the industry. They want to become a tow truck operator. They want to open their own towing business. And that's where they start. But unfortunately, us all high and mighty people who already drive tow truck say, you're not a tow truck. You're just a guy with a car trailer. and they
Well,
tell him to go pound salt.
well, you mean us tow truck operators tell the guy who's not operating a tow truck that he's not a tow truck operator? I mean, that seems pretty legit.
No, but I'm saying like he's trying to grind to buy a tow truck, but rollback prices are expensive. If you already have a quarter or 3/4 ton truck or a 1 ton truck, to buy a decent car trailer, gooseneck, whatever, you're looking at maybe 20 grand. Your insurance on top for the year, you're going to have to look into that. To buy a half-ass decent rollback, you're upwards of 50, 60,000.
I don't think the industry would sit there and criticize someone who was making an honest effort to go about this one way. I
Mhm.
think what you're seeing the industry criticizing is this flood in certain areas of people coming in at 50, 30, 40, 60, whatever they are, dollar tows
Yeah.
with their pickup trucks and trailers that aren't registered,
Mm.
that aren't insured properly, that aren't all of those things,
Yeah.
right? You are seeing the criticism of people for these people, the ones that aren't going about it the right way.
Mhm.
Now, if you've got yourself a 2500 truck and you were serious about getting into it, upgrade it to a 3500 and put a wheel lift on it,
Mm.
right? Those like there's different variations in the states that are somewhat accepted now for
Yeah.
under bumper lifts that you're
Mhm.
not looking at those crazy prices you're talking about.
Mhm.
It's people trying to find a shortcut into the industry or trying to, undercut the industry
Yeah.
that are the ones that are absolutely the problem. I have no problem with a towing company having a trailer,
Mhm.
right? For certain scenarios, it could come in handy. Or maybe they got a specialized trailer, that one with the suspension that drops down for super lowered cars. I
Oh, yeah,
have
those things are
zero
badass.
problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have zero problems with guys running around with a trailer to tow cars.
Mhm.
And I think I speak for a lot of the industry when I say this, that like the hustle and being hustled are two different things,
Mhm.
right? These wannabe tow operators that you're speaking of, and that's what I'll call them, that'll run around, with the, hashtag tow life, hustling, da 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 da, with their, their pickup truck that can't walk through a safety and probably isn't commercially registered,
Hmm.
with their trailer that God knows isn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying all of them.
Mhm.
I'm saying a majority of them, though.
There is this one guy, I think it's an F-250. It's all jacked up, it's wrapped, and he's got logo on it and a beacon bar, and that's what he does. He hauls a trailer.
Mhm.
And that's his one truck. And
Yeah,
like he posts on social media a lot that I see through the Facebook feed and everything. And no one hates on the guy because you
exactly.
can see he takes pride in what he does. The
And he's
money he
not doing
makes goes back
$50
into his
tows.
image of his truck, and he's building a company for himself.
Yeah. And maybe he's specializing in auto transport and specialty auto transport and that kind of
Yep.
stuff. And that's where I say the industry isn't going to criticize those guys.
Mhm.
What they're criticizing is a guy running around, like I said, the Sonoma, right? No GMC Sonoma with a trailer, trying to
Yeah.
pull half tons and charging $50, or a car dolly,
Mhm.
and you know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
and undercutting.
Mhm.
Because those guys are out there, oh, I'm hustling, I'm hustling. No, you're killing the industry.
Yeah.
If you want an honest crack at this industry, somebody will give it to you,
Mhm.
right? That's one thing about this industry. If you want an honest crack about it, somebody will give you it. Someone will give you a job where you can learn what you're going to need and then, make the investment to go out on your own.
Mhm.
But these guys that just grab a pickup truck and a trailer and call themselves a tow truck and cut the corner of becoming an operator, yeah, the hell with them.
Hmm.
I hope Dot pulls them over 3 times a day,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's a bad image for the industry on an industry with already a bad image.
Hmm.
And you got guys running around with just pickup trucks and dollies. Like, hey, doing it for your buddy. I've moved cars on dollies before.
Yeah.
Doing it for your buddy and stuff like that, zero problems with. You'll never hear me complain about.
Mhm.
But whenever you start doing it commercially for a cut rate price,
Yeah.
I got no use for you.
No. No, I think it's a fine line. Unfortunately, in a Facebook post, you normally post a picture, say, see what I'm doing. I'm hustling. You're not saying in that same Facebook post, I'm fully insured. This is my game plan. This is how long I've been doing it. You're not giving everyone the full breakdown. So if you are one of those guys that want to get into the industry and you're thinking that, hey, maybe a truck and a trailer will be a good first step, but I want some more information. Maybe I'll post something on social media, see if I can get any feedback from the industry. Be careful. State your intentions, or else you'll might get blasted.
You might not enjoy the responses that you get.
No.
Okay, this is breaking. I had no intentions of bringing this up on the show. I just had a driver that posted a screenshot from the call he is doing, a call that is logged through our wonderful friends over at TowSoft.
Hmm.
And it says, "How TF do you lose your car?" And in the notes, delivery driver got stuck in mud. He went to go drop off the food order and now can't find his way back to the car. He states the car is very close to the water.
Hmm.
And this is for obviously a winch out. Not through a roadside, surprisingly.
Well, I mean, kudos to that delivery driver. At least he got out on his own 2 feet and heel-toed
He
expressed it to the
he
customer.
finished the job. He made
Yeah.
sure that I am getting that delivery.
Yeah.
I am getting that.
His GPS pinned that house location perfectly, but he couldn't remember where the car is.
He said the last thing he seen was a boat dock. He walked for 5 minutes, went back and couldn't find his car, so who knows? Hopefully he was smart and put his car in park. This is a live developing tow as we speak.
Oh.
This is
Are we going to have to keep this podcast going for like another hour and a half until we see the outcome?
to get an update for it. Well, I'm sure we're going to have to follow up next week for sure with an update, depending on how this goes. But this guy, yeah, so this Uber Eats driver, I'm gonna guess it's becoming very popular around here.
Mm-hmm.
I've also realized my dispatch doesn't know how to spell Hyundai.
I just put HYU.
And let it auto-populate.
No, I just put HYU.
Oh,
Because
like
with
what it
HYU,
honestly
you can
looks like.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is a live developing tow on the Towing Life podcast where our customer has lost his vehicle out near a boat dock out near the water. So we're either going to have to run it long to get to the end of this story, or we're going to have to cut it early because I've got to go on a search and rescue mission for a call that we need to find the car. Which at this point, when this is done, if my driver hasn't found it, I'm probably going for a ride anyways. Let's be honest.
Do you know the general area of this car at least?
Well, he would have the address that he was delivering to, I would assume.
Yeah.
Which would
Hopefully
be the
you're
address
using this
I'm
cut
guessing
rate
they put
GPS.
in the call.
Yeah.
Right. So like, hopefully, like I said, he did put the car in park and it's not in the river. Ooh, we're gonna go swimming again.
You just got over a cold and you'll be getting another one.
I'm getting another cold already before I finally finish this one. I've started getting another cold. It's great. So might as well just go for a swim and just add pneumonia to the list. Like, that's kind of what I'm thinking here.
So we got a question sent to us on our Facebook page from a gentleman called David. And he says, "Hey, TowManG, I got a good subject for you guys to discuss. You're pretty high on your horse thinking this is a good subject, but we'll be the judge of that." He states, "What is your policy for towing vehicles from a garage after hours? Example, Jim Bob calls at 10 p.m. and wants his 1998 Honda Civic. There you go, PlainGuy, reference to you.
Yeah.
Towed from No Name Automotive and to be taken to another shop. Do you or don't you tow it after hours?" Yeah,
I'll let you
that's
take that one first.
yeah. So, like I said to you, David, in my response to you, 9 times out of 10, we're in a pretty local area for us, and it's not going to be the same way for all the listeners out there. Um, we know most of the shop owners. A lot of times we have a personal number for them because they like calling some of us directly for their tows. And I've reached out to personally a lot of the shop owners, say, "Hey, I've got this car. Is there any money owing on it? They want it towed out of here. This person wants it towed out of here. Does that match up?" They're like, "Yeah, just let me check or let me talk to my business partner, whatever." They get back to me within 2-3 minutes before I'm even there normally, because to be honest with you, I don't really want to start turning wheels if I know I'm not getting paid. And once they give me the all clear, or saying, "No, there's money owing on it," Well, then I'll normally call the customer back, or I just show up and say, "Hey, I can't tow your car. There's money owing." Or I
But
get there. If I can't get a hold of them and they have a bill, like a receipt from the actual place of business, then we're all good. But if they can't provide me a bill, or I can't get a hold of the owner, I'm going to say, "Well, if you want, you're going to have to call back tomorrow."
yeah, I do remember we have talked about this before.
Hmm.
Um, and yes, after hours, a requirement was that you provide an invoice.
Yeah.
It's a paid invoice to show, right? And if not, let's be honest. If you cannot provide an invoice,
Hmm.
if it's going from one shop to another, it can wait till business hours.
Hmm.
Right? If you are that adamant that it can't wait till business hours,
Yeah.
you're raising a couple more red flags.
And a lot of times it's going back to their house anyways,
Yep.
right? Because maybe the car's too fucked up and
Yep.
they're not going to pay the $6,000 to get a transmission put into it,
Yeah.
right?
Like we
So,
had this, I had this recently where we actually got a call.
mhm,
I think it was at night. It was to go pick up in another towing company's yard.
mm,
And it was just weird because it was going to pick up their yard towing not far away from them.
mm,
So I don't know if it was an impound. I don't know what it was.
no,
But it's weird they wouldn't just use their service if it was like we were driving 30 kilometers to go move at 5
yeah,
when they could have just done the 5. So I'm like, I don't know if it was a preference. I don't know.
no,
But, first thing I did, I just called them up and I was like, hey, I got a call to go pick up a car from your place to whatever. I just want to make sure everything's on the good. Like everything's up
no,
and up. Everything's good. Yeah,
mhm,
yeah. No problem. That red car. Yeah. They're going to take it over to that shop. No worries. You're good to go. Keys are in it. Okay,
no,
cool. Towing company to towing company is very easy to do that because we're 24 hours,
yeah,
right? Or most of us. Um, Shops is a little bit harder.
mhm,
So yes, unless you have a personal relationship with that shop,
mhm,
which let's be honest, your managers in your different towns and all that should, or like I
no,
said, even operators that you know a lot of people.
mhm,
Um, but even that, like, am I calling, you know, Jim Bob at 2 a.m. to find out?
yeah, no,
No, do you have a copy of a paid invoice? No, I don't. I paid cash and didn't get a receipt. Okay, cool. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait until the morning.
yeah,
And I'm sure you can understand why we're doing this.
mhm,
Right? It's not that we don't want to tow your car. It's just
yeah,
that, and that is one of those important things. This situation is all dependent. This isn't where I was planning on going, but it is all dependent on dispatch.
yeah,
Dispatch is your first level of interaction with the customer. So if
mhm,
that customer calls in and says 2 o'clock in the morning, I want to get my car picked up at Jim Bob's
mhm,
garage and brought over to Joe Bob's garage,
mhm,
and your dispatch says right off the hop, no problem. Just so you know, because we're moving from a shop after hours to ensure there's no outstanding invoice,
mhm.
we'll have to have you provide a copy of this invoice. Do
Yeah,
you have
right then and there, before they waste any more time, they could be like,
Yeah,
"I don't have that."
I don't have that. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to move that vehicle until we confirm there's no outstanding invoice with that garage.
mhm,
If that In a perfect scenario, that's how it would run.
mhm,
Now, if that same customer calls and goes, hey, I got to pick up here, go into here. I mean, sometimes they don't tell you it's at Jim Bob's garage. They could just give you an address.
yeah,
I mean, dispatch, man, it's quick and easy. You can figure out where that address is. If it's
mhm,
something you don't know, if it's not a residential area, maybe just pop up a quick,
yeah,
right? Google Maps, a wonderful thing, but
yeah,
it can get missed, right?
mhm,
Now the driver calls because the driver realizes, hey, that's a shop, Mr. Dispatch.
yeah,
And the driver calls the guy and he's, oh, now the guy's already on his way to it. You said you were coming, the company dispatched you,
yeah,
you know, now you're telling me you can't unless I have an invoice. I don't have an invoice. But even then, at least your driver solved it right away. If you wait till you're on scene
mhm. He's already
and you tell the
waited there
customer,
30 minutes for you to show up.
and the customer's been waiting there, and you
Yeah,
tell them that you can't remove it from there unless they have a paid invoice, now they've got to figure out alternative and everything else.
mhm,
That's where I think most guys have the problem, and why that question gets asked. Because that
yeah,
question has a very simple answer. No, not without proof.
yeah,
But what if?
mhm,
What if we failed at this point? What if we failed at this point? What if we failed at this point? And now it's in a point that we are risking losing business
mhm,
because we pissed off a customer because we didn't take the proper steps along the way.
yep,
Right? Something like that is so
hmm,
easily solved right from the word go if your dispatch is aware of it.
Yeah. Now I've seen this policy bite some people in the ass. So like I'll use Canadian Tire as an example,
Yeah, fair
right?
enough.
It's a big shop, it's Canada wide. You pull into Canadian Tire, your tire goes flat. You're like, shoot, I'll deal with that tomorrow, right? You get a ride, you call in for another tow truck. When you get home, someone says, well, we'll just get it towed tonight instead
Yep.
of waiting until tomorrow. So you're like, okay, I'll call tow truck. You probably call a roadside because like, it's just sitting at Canadian Tire. I'll get my roadside, pick it up, and take it to a shop that I actually want to deal with.
Mm.
Now, from a driver's perspective, the roadside doesn't care. They're just going to place the call and say, here you go, deal with it, get it done. The driver gets it. It's going from a shop to a shop at midnight, 11 o'clock, whatever.
Yep.
You get there, it's a flat tire. You don't know how long the car's been sitting here for. Could be sitting here for a week, could have been sitting here for a month. You don't know. Maybe Canadian Tire's already taken a look at it. Maybe there's money owing on it. You don't know. A lot of times they leave it in
On
their
a
bay
flat tire. Gee,
for
that's one of
anything.
that's
For
one of
anything.
your. This is one of your looking to get out of the call.
No, I'm just using a flat tire as an example, right? This isn't something that's happened to me.
Okay.
It is to a certain extent, but I always end up towing the car anyways. Once they said, well, no, I just broke down and I pulled into this parking lot, right? Okay, well, then I'll tow the shit box. But unfortunately, from just looking at the call, it's going from a shop to a shop after hours.
Mhm.
You're normally going to be going into it where this shouldn't be covered anyways because I need to see proof. A lot of times the customer isn't there if they're already at their house, and now you got to get them to meet you there. So right off the bat, dispatch has kind of failed. From what you were saying,
Okay.
dispatch
Yeah,
should have
because my
said right off
dispatch
the
would have
bat,
failed them and you wouldn't have gotten the call. Maybe they'll call another company.
yeah,
Maybe. Okay. I can live with
yeah,
that. I can live with that. Now, again, Canadian Tire is a little bit different, right?
mm-hmm,
Because it's also a retail store. It's back
mm-hmm,
like when Walmart did tires and lube,
mm-hmm,
whatever. Fun fact about Canadian Tire: pretty sure if there's an outstanding bill on a car,
yeah,
it's gonna be inside.
yeah,
Canadian Tire knows their clientele,
mm-hmm.
right? It's not their friends. It's not, where a lot of these local smaller garages, it's a lot of buddies and different things like that.
And they
They're the
also
same
have the
way.
room that a lot
You
of small
no, but
garages
you
don't.
ask one of your local garages
Mm-hmm,
if they had a fear about a car getting taken because they had a
yeah,
good bill on it. What they do, they put it inside. Right?
yeah,
Canadian Tire is a retail space. It is a little bit different.
mm-hmm,
Right? Canadian Tire is going to leave stuff that they owe bills on. They have a lot of room.
yeah,
Right? So that is a different scenario.
mm-hmm,
But again, that's a scenario that's got to be trained and taught into dispatch at their level. And absolutely, I'm not saying you're going to get it right 100% of the time,
mm-hmm,
but you got to build these policies around 90%.
yeah,
Right? Like you're my favorite kind of person, and it's a compliment and an insult all in one.
hmm,
When a new policy comes out, right? And let's say this is a policy, we are not picking up from garage to garage, just as we spoke.
yeah,
And we start to pass that policy within the company.
mm-hmm,
You will always, regardless of what this policy is, you will always get somebody that'll throw out well, what if
hmm,
the president is in town and his motorcade broke down
mm-hmm,
and it blocked access to everything, and this lady had to pull over because her engine was smoking and pulled into Joe Bob's garage, and it was 6 o'clock because the president was coming through after hours, and now we can't go tow this lady. What if this lady was my grandmother?
hmm,
And I go, okay, it's never going to be perfect.
yeah,
It's going to involve a little bit of help from everybody. And I hope the person who I believe listens possibly to this show
yeah,
knows that I'm speaking directly at them
hmm,
about this 1 in a million scenario. A system isn't going to be perfect.
yeah,
But if your system can cover 95% of your issues and you can solve the other 5 as they come,
mm-hmm,
it's a good system.
yeah,
Right? If you're saying no shop to shop after hours, you're going to solve 90% of your problem.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we are different. Like, if you have ever had like an office job, a retail job, they'll normally lay out the policies, and those are the policies. Like, that is what you got to follow. Very few exceptions.
Yeah.
The towing industry has a lot more exceptions for a lot of different things.
No, we have a lot more acceptance of exceptions. It's
Okay.
true. It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
We can lay out policies too. 4 tire straps on all vehicles.
Yeah.
4, you need, the MTO sets the standard out,
Mm-hmm.
right? 50% of the load, front to back, side to side.
So that's
Clear.
2 tire straps for small cars.
No, because it can still go side to side. Even if they're X'd, even if they're cross corner, still can go side to side.
Okay.
So there, we as an industry
Yeah.
are more accepting of allowing exceptions.
Yeah.
Meaning, it says that you need to, on a Vulcan strapless system, run safety chains. We decide that we're going to be lazy and put one on.
Yeah. Or you
And
put it
not
on, but you don't double wrap it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So no, the towing industry has very clear definitions on what it takes to tow disabled vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes to traffic control, Ontario offers Book 7.
Yeah.
We have a clear guideline of policies to follow.
Mm-hmm.
There is areas when you start to get into recovery that can get a little grayer. I'm all for that. I support you.
Mm-hmm.
But to say that the industry as a whole or in general is bunch of guys flying by the seat of their pants with no structure is bullshit. It's what we decide to do with that structure.
I saw a picture. It was underneath of a car at a lower control arm. There was a warning label on it saying, "Do not
Yes.
attach rigging device
And he was
here."
hooked on it.
And the caption said, "I'm glad they put a sticker there to show me where I can put my J hook."
Yeah. Yeah.
Right on the warning label that says, "Don't attach to this point."
But it's true, right? Like
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? Like when you're in office, yes, there's policies. They're a little more structured in an office, but the reality is no, we have the same guidelines and everything. We just decide,
Yeah.
and I use the term we, to not follow. And I'm not trying to play, man up on the hill there that has all the answers and has done everything right his entire career.
Mm.
I'm just saying, like, I'm part of the problem too. At times I have been, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
If you've
that's the
ever
reality.
towed a car with only 3 wheel straps on it instead of the 4, you're part of the problem, not the solution.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm currently on Lost Car Tracker 2023.
How are we
On
making out on that dilemma?
I don't know. I'm on the GPS. I looked where my truck is. He is on the road.
Hmm.
Oh, we do not have an update. We do not have an update if we have
Hmm.
found the car. I will get one. Have we found the car? Question mark. Somebody actually commented in our group chat asking if I still have my swimsuit clothes from the last one.
Hmm.
So my company is thinking the same thing that you and I are. It's gonna be a cold night in the river.
I hope you can say no to that question, because I hope that you've taken and washed them and put them away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My hoodie or my bathing suit has been put away. It is, I might remind you, November in Canada,
Yes.
which I think this would be the latest. I want to say this is the latest I've been in the river.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
was
it'd be
one night
pretty
I could see
chilly.
my breath, but it was
It's
October.
been fairly mild the last couple of days, but we had like a
Not
week
that
of like,
mild.
no, it's been like 11, gone down to like 5, which is mild.
But keep in mind, this isn't a lake. This is
River.
this is the St. Lawrence River. This is
Oh.
not just this is a big
Oh.
river from a big body of water that
Huh.
is always cold.
Yeah, it's moving water is what you're saying.
It's moving water.
Mm,
But like
mm.
I've looked and there's not many places his car could get down near the water down there. Like there's a lot of houses between. Oh, we might have an update. So no. Oh, we have found the car.
Mm.
We have found the car, and it is not near a dock, nor is it down. Yeah, that's
Can we
not a
share a
road.
photo on the podcast?
I can absolutely. There's nothing I checked quick in that photo. I will double check. But good news. Lost Car 2023. We have found the vehicle.
We found it.
We have found the vehicle.
Yep.
Um, it is not. He said it was on a road, I believe. Um, I'm not sure how I'm going to save this image as, but it was found.
Hmm.
He's not on a road. I don't know how he lost the vehicle though. That's the more impressive part. Like the fact that you could legit lose a vehicle. You know what I mean? Like not just like I park
He
somewhere and
doesn't
now
know his north from his south or his east to his west.
well, it's dark, so it's hard to know where the difference of them is going to be.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. But like I don't fully understand.
Well, I mean, on your GPS, it says, "Did you park here?" And you can click yes, and then it'll remember that spot from where you parked.
Yeah, like yeah, when you get out of your car, but that's normally when like a Bluetooth disconnects.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do my very best to show this photo just because it's not I can't just present a photo. We have to present it as slides, and you know the whole routine.
Yeah.
So I will get it pulled up here in just a split second. But yes, we have found the vehicle. It is not in the river. PlainGuy is safe from going swimming.
Hmm.
So that is a good thing. I mean, it would be fun, but at the same time, I'm okay. Like this, oh, this is not a driveway. There's a Civic number there.
Yeah. That looks like just behind some houses.
I don't know how you got lost in there.
You were driving through people's backyards by the looks of it.
Yeah.
You know what? I've had that issue with Waze before where it takes me to the back of buildings. And that's probably what happened here.
Yeah, normally though in like city areas,
Hmm.
like big shops it'll bring you into the back street or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he states the car is very close to the water, got stuck in mud. He went to go drop off food and now he can't find his way back.
Hmm.
So that explains why he found, you know, how he did this.
Close to
But
water. He's probably talking about the puddle that his car just made.
well, they are in an area that's near the river.
Hmm.
Like that road runs along like there's houses along the river there. But I
Hmm.
mean to say near the river, it makes it sound like I can see the
Near.
river. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyways,
Just
that
another
was
time of, oh, I'm only 5 feet off the roadway, bud.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
People
So that
don't know distance.
guy, mm-mm.
You Americans measure things in monkeys and llamas and just different things. Your measurement system's all discombobulated. So I can understand that down there. But up here, it's in units of 10. You should be able to figure it out.
Hey, you want to know a fun fact I read? I don't know if this is true. I cannot verify the truth of this. So before we end this episode, I'm going to go on a fact and we can look it up for next week.
Okay.
Somebody can look it up and tell me if I'm wrong. Okay. If every year had 13 months, okay,
Yeah.
every month would have 28 days.
Mm-hmm.
The first would start on a Monday, the 28th would end on a Sunday.
Yes.
Why do we not do this?
Because our calendar system is flawed and it was made like 2,000 years ago.
And it would apparently line up better with the moon cycle and everything. Like everything would just be on cycle.
I've
It's
read
because they
something
didn't
about
want to,
that. Yeah.
they'd say the 13 and it's the devil. It's the Christians that ruined it for everyone.
I'm pretty sure you saw that as a comedy sketch. I think you saw the same one I did
Okay,
on
but I'm
Facebook.
wondering, like, if it's factual, I'm screw getting rid of daylight savings. Let's go to the 13-month calendar.
Yeah. What would
On
be the
behalf of
13th month called?
well, if an octopus has 8 legs and they call it an octopus, why is October the 10th month? And an octagon has 8 sides.
Yeah.
Things that make you go, On behalf of myself, my wonderful co-host, Mr. TowManG, we thank you for joining us on another episode of the Tow and Life podcast, and we cannot wait to see you all again next week for the answer to these fun questions. Take care.
Toodles. And deck is 10 for December.
But it's the 12th month.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a Latin thing.
I think it's just it means that the Earth is flat and the Illuminati runs everything.
The lumens in the sky. It's how many
Lumens.
brightness the bulbs are.
Yeah.